today we're going to take a look at the ramped up Battlecard inside of Salesforce. So you see on the screen I'm currently logged into Salesforce using the classic version. It is lightning ready, but I'm going to use the classic to show some backwards compatibility. The Battlecard is usually located under the account detail, and it sits on the accounts tab, the leads tab, as well as the opportunities tab. So let's take a look at the Battlecard itself and see what we have. So we're on an account called SkillSoft, and on our first company tab, we show you website, social presence, vertical, and some other details about the company, as well as a predictive scoring tool that we have. And a star is awarded based on top industries, market segments for your current client roster, as well as preferred technology that is used in the account based on your product and service. You tell us what is preferred technology, and at least one contact that is a preferred buyer, most likely on your buying committee for your product or service, and some recent news activity that will show some happenings within the account. And speaking of that, to the right, we list out the latest 3 news articles that relate to the company so that you can review for any initiatives that may relate to your product or service. And if you don't see that, here we have a button, more trigger events that you can click on. It'll take you to our ramped up UI and bring up the most recent week with pre-populated the account's URL, and it shows some current activity as early as today. Now you do have the capability to use some filter criteria that would allow you to search for specific event types, such as the awards, events, personnel, and product and services, real estate, etc. So I'm going to choose product and services, and then I'm going to expand out maybe just for the current month to see if we have any product-related activity, and let that search. And what this would allow you to do is focus your trigger event search so that if a particular category fits and is an indicator of a buy cycle for your product or service, then this would be a good way to target accounts based on that trigger event type. So you can see we have a number of different articles over the last month related to products and services within SkillSoft. Back on the Battlecard, next up is the Contacts tab. So this Contacts tab is not contacts that you have in the account. So those would be located as usual in your Contacts tab. These are actually contacts based on a preferred buyer title that we pull and look for to help you locate your buying committee. So these would be contacts that we would want to import into Salesforce, and you see we have a couple options. We can import it as a contact, or if your business process says that you must import as a lead first, you can see, let me point that out. So this now says import to Salesforce as a lead. If you check this box back, you'll notice that this now says import as a contact. What it will tell you is also this green check mark means that Tom McDonald is already in your contacts tab, so you do not need to import. But it's as easy as clicking on an individual, and this button becomes available to import directly into Salesforce in the contacts tab. We also have multiple pages, so by title and multiple titles that you have told us that you wanted to see, we make available. So you get contact information, phone number, as well as email. If you do not see the person you need, or if it's a special project, we do have this More Contacts tab that when you click on, again, it will take you to our ramped up UI where you can actually search, just like with the trigger events, it would pre-populate the company's URL and then start a search for all the contacts that we know are available through either social or web validated for this particular account. Now you can focus that by using particular titles that you may be interested in finding that may be specific for this project that you need. So you can enter titles and you see some additional search criteria. And again, the same functionality, import as a contact or uncheck, and then you have the opportunity to import as a lead. So back to the sales card, to the battle card, and next tab is the customer tab. So what we're trying to do with the customer tab is give you some lookalike customers based on this current account that you're working on. So for example, by size, industry, location, products that the account may be interested in looking at, or do you want to present for a particular initiative. And what we show here is some recent wins that accounts that you have already sold within your company. And to get more detail, it's simply clicking on the number and you get specific names of accounts in that category that you have sold to. And then drilling deeper, it's actually the win story and what is included in that actual sell, so that you can have some specific items to talk about, and with this, some name drop for SkillSoft while you're trying to convert SkillSoft to a client. And you can do that with each category. Next up is competition. So these are companies that your account are competing against. So in their space, these are the top 4, so Inspire, Blackboard, etc., are competitors of SkillSoft, mainly to help the rep focus and be more of a subject matter expert and allow them to have a deeper conversation with the account. And then also we have a technologies tab. So this shows you the current tech stack that this account is currently using. And you see there's multiple pages. So you could look through this, but if you also noticed initially on the company tab, when you tell us about, so with the scoring, the preferred technologies, we will actually highlight that for this particular account in this front company tab so that you don't have to go look for it in that technologies tab. So that is the battle card. A couple of other features that I would point out since we've been talking about it is there are preferred technologies, and this is where you set up your preferred technologies. So you would actually go through and add any technologies, one that is either complementary to your product or service, or even competitive. So if you do competitive takeaways, this is a good way to find those accounts that a competitor currently has, and you could use that in your sales strategy. Also, we talked about the buyers. So under the decision-making tab is where you would list out specific titles that would be a part of your buying committee, or those contacts that you know are involved with your product or service. And it's as easy as taking one off if you don't need them anymore. So if the CFO is not really involved, you can take them off and or add titles as you would need for your particular product or service. One other tool that I would show you based on this battle card within Salesforce, and I'm going to use SkillSoft here. We'll just click out to their website and show you if you were browsing the internet and needed some information about SkillSoft. RampedUp also has a Chrome plugin, so it's something you can install in your Chrome browser. And when you click on it, you basically get the same battle card structure while you're surfing the web and doing some research. So same type of information. You can see the scoring. The information is laid out. Just because of real estate, it looks a little different. We've got the trigger events down at the bottom, but the same tab. So you could go through and garner the same information that we have inside of Salesforce. You just don't have to be in there. So that is the RampedUp Battle Card plugin inside of Salesforce. And we know at RampedUp that with customer insight and with sales intelligence, would give you an account-based selling tool. Thanks for watching.